You have probably heard someone say it casually: blue eyes see better, especially in the dark, or brown eyes handle the sun like sunglasses. Maybe you have wondered this yourself while squinting outside or driving at night. Eye color feels personal because it is one of the first things people notice about you, and it quietly raises a question about whether your body experiences the world differently. This video is about that exact question behind the joke and the assumption. Do blue eyes really see the world better than brown eyes? Or is something else going on? We are going to look at what eye color actually does inside the eye, not socially, not aesthetically, but biologically. And some of the answers are more uncomfortable than people expect. Your eye color is not just a cosmetic trait passed down in family photos. It affects how light enters your eye, how much is absorbed, and how much scatters inside. That means it can influence glare, comfort, and sensitivity in everyday situations. It is subtle, but it is real, and it is happening every time you open your eyes. By the end of this video, you will understand what your eye color says about how your eyes adapted to light, environment, and ancestry. Not in a way that ranks people, but in a way that explains trade-offs written directly into your biology. And once you see it, you might never think about your own eyes the same way again. Eye color comes down to one simple substance doing a lot of quiet work behind the scenes. That substance is melanin, the same pigment that colors your skin and hair. In the eye, melanin sits in the iris and controls how much light gets absorbed instead of bouncing around. The more melanin you have, the darker your eyes appear. Brown eyes have a high concentration of melanin in the iris. This extra pigment acts like a natural filter, soaking up stray light before it scatters inside the eye. That reduces glare and improves visual comfort in bright environments. It does not make vision sharper, but it does make light easier to manage. Blue eyes are different not because they have blue pigment, but because they have much less melanin. The blue color comes from light scattering through the iris, similar to why the sky looks blue. With less pigment to absorb light, more light moves freely within the eye. This changes how brightness is experienced. Imagine sunlight reflecting off water or snow on a clear day. In those moments, glare can feel overwhelming for some people. That discomfort is not imagination, it is physics interacting with biology. Less melanin means more internal light scatter. This is why people with lighter eyes often report sensitivity to bright light. Their eyes are letting in and bouncing around more photons. It does not mean damage, but it does mean a different sensory experience. The eye is working with less built-in filtering. So eye color is not about vision quality in a simple sense. It is about how light is handled once it enters the eye. And that small difference sets the stage for how eyes adapted to very different environments. To understand why these differences exist, it helps to think in terms of environment rather than advantage. Human eyes evolved under wildly different lighting conditions across the planet. Bright open landscapes, dense forests, cloudy skies, and long winters all shaped how much light the eye needed to manage. Eye color reflects those pressures. In regions with intense sunlight like open plains or near the equator, excess light is a constant challenge. Too much glare can reduce comfort and strain the visual system. Higher melanin levels helped absorb that extra light before it caused problems. Darker eyes were a practical response to brightness. In lower light environments, the challenge flipped. Cloud cover, shorter days, and dimmer conditions meant light was harder to come by. Having less melanin allowed more light to move through the eye. That made vision feel brighter when light was scarce. This does not mean one group saw better than another. It means each variation solved a specific problem. One eye filtered light, the other let more of it in. Both strategies worked depending on where you lived. Every adaptation comes with trade-offs. Reducing glare also reduces total light intake. Increasing light intake also increases sensitivity. Biology rarely gives bonuses without costs attached. Eye color is one of those quiet compromises. It reflects an environment your ancestors adapted to, not a ranking of visual ability. And those trade-offs still show up today in modern lighting. When people say certain eyes see better, they are usually describing comfort, not clarity. Vision sharpness mostly comes from the lens and retina, not the iris. But how comfortable your eyes feel can shape how you judge what you see. Sensitivity changes the experience even when visual detail stays the same. Lighter eyes often feel overwhelmed in harsh light. Bright sunlight, Headlights at night or reflective surfaces can feel sharper and more intense. This can lead to squinting or eye fatigue faster than expected. The eye is letting in more light than it can easily manage. Darker eyes tend to feel calmer in those same conditions. Glare is reduced and contrast feels more stable. This does not mean the image is clearer, just easier to tolerate. Comfort quietly shapes perception. In low light, the experience can flip. Lighter eyes may feel more responsive when illumination drops. Dim rooms or twilight conditions can feel slightly brighter. That extra light scatter becomes noticeable, but this does not mean night vision is better in a biological sense. The retina still limits what can be seen. Sensitivity changes how the scene feels, not how much information is captured. So when someone claims one eye color sees better, they are usually noticing how their eyes react to light. It is perception shaped by protection, not a hidden upgrade. Your eye color is a quiet record of where your ancestors spent long stretches of time. As humans migrated across continents, small variations began to matter. Light levels changed, environments shifted, and bodies responded slowly over generations. The iris became one of many places where those adjustments showed up. Darker eyes remained common in regions with consistent, intense sunlight. The protective role of melanin stayed useful and stable. There was no pressure to change something that already worked well. Over time, those traits became widespread and familiar. Lighter eyes appeared more often in populations that lived farther from the equator. Lower sunlight levels reduced the need for heavy light filtering. In those settings, allowing more light into the eye was not a disadvantage. It was simply another workable solution. This is why eye color distribution looks uneven across the world today. It is not random, but it is also not a marker of identity or ability. It reflects migration paths, climate, and time. Small genetic shifts accumulated quietly. What matters is that all these variations come from the same original human blueprint. Blue, brown, green, or hazel eyes all rely on the same structures doing the same job. The difference is in how much light they manage along the way. When you look at someone's eyes, you are not seeing a category, you are seeing history expressed through biology. A story of movement, adaptation, and shared origin written into the iris. So what does all of this actually mean for you, standing in front of a mirror or looking at old family photos? It means your eye color is shaping small daily experiences without defining who you are. It influences comfort, sensitivity, and how light feels, not intelligence or depth of perception. Biology nudges experience. It does not assign value. If you have lighter eyes, you may notice brightness more intensely and seek shade instinctively. If you have darker eyes, you may feel more at ease in harsh light without thinking about why. Neither is better, both are adaptations still doing their quiet work. Your eyes are solving problems your ancestors faced. Understanding this can change how you interpret your own reactions. Squinting in sunlight or loving dim rooms is not a flaw or a quirk. It is your body responding exactly as it was built to respond. Awareness replaces judgment. Eye color is one of many traits that remind us how deeply connected we are to environment and ancestry. These details live in plain sight, yet most of us never stop to question them. Curiosity turns something ordinary into something meaningful. The uncomfortable truth is not that some eyes see better than others. It is that we often mistake difference for hierarchy. When you look through your own eyes, you are not seeing better or worse. You are seeing through a very human solution to the world you inherited.